Right now at 10, urged to reconsider. Some of La Crosse's elected officials say the school district's referendum was rushed onto the ballot.
And polarizing politics. The issues and attitudes dividing voters are growing wider and in some cases criminal.
Plus, murder-suicide. Investigators released the cause of death for a family of 6 found dead in an apartment fire.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 10. I'm Amy DuPont.
And I'm Ken Kozarowski. Some of La Crosse's elected officials are speaking out against the school district's referendum. In 2 weeks, voters will decide whether to pass the roughly $195 million plan to consolidate Central and Logan High Schools into one new building.
As News 8 Now's Duas Rar found out, Northside leaders say that referendum was rushed.
In a highly divisive election year,
left, right, and center on the political spectrum,
both sides of the aisle agreeing is rare.
This is about community more so than it's about politics.
But some members of La Crosse's city council and county board say it's a necessary step to take.
Our job as elected officials is to act in the interest of our voters, and clearly all of us believe that the answer needs to be no. This is not a good plan for La Crosse.
In 2 weeks, La Crosse voters will decide whether to approve a $194.7 million school referendum. If it passes, Central and Logan High Schools will be consolidated into a new school on the former train site. If it fails, the superintendent says the district will still consolidate, but how has yet to be decided. Members of La Crosse's city and county board say the referendum is rushed.
A physical building, that should not be our #1 concern. It's the lives of the people that live here.
La Crosse parent Kat Skemp Moran is a member of the Vote Yes for La Crosse Schools group.
I don't know if any time would be a good time.
Moran says as enrollment numbers decline, it's important to support consolidation.
It's time to really come together and unify and build a stronger community and under one brand new high school and offer our school kids the best education possible. The money that can be saved by consolidation to be reinvested in teachers and staff.
Pursue a Better Plan organizer Courtney Locken says a vote against the current referendum does not mean it's a vote against education.
It's saying that we need to pursue a better plan.
Locken says she wants a plan that includes the voices of the North Side.
I believe that we have the time to do that so that we can come up with a plan that better serves our entire community and doesn't disenfranchise half of our neighborhoods.
Elected officials say they want the district to listen to the voices of the entire community.
If you want to be an elected official, you have to be accountable and have people have access to reaching you.
And give community members a seat at the table. The Pursue a Better Plan published a petition to put a stop to the current referendum. They say they want the district to create a new plan that covers all the needs of community members. Reporting in La Crosse, Duas Rar, News 8 Now.
Now we asked the school district to comment on the elected leaders' concerns. The school spokesperson told News 8 Now the district surveyed community members and high levels of participation drove the school board's decision to place the referendum on the ballot.
Well, new tonight, La Crosse's Board of Education voted tonight to approve several budgets for the upcoming year. Now, state law says school boards have to set their tax levies and adopt a budget on or before November 1st. And because the referendum obviously isn't voted on until the 8th, the board had to draw up 2 budgets, one for if the referendum passes and one if it doesn't. The board voted unanimously to approve both budgets.
In-person absentee voting begins in La Crosse tomorrow. The city will open 3 polling sites, including the City Hall. Now, you must bring a photo ID, and if you need to register or update your registration, you will also need to bring proof of residence like a utility bill. Now, here are the voting hours and locations for tomorrow. They're going to pop up on your screen any second.
Any second. There we go.
If you requested an absentee ballot by mail, you can deliver it yourself to one of those locations. We're going to post a link to more voter information at news8000.com.
Over the weekend, Onalaska police recovered a stolen political sign that was vandalized with a swastika. News 8 Now's Emily Haugen spoke with a political analyst who says it's a sign of the times.
This time of year, roadsides are covered in political signs.
Vandalism in the past used to be closer to a disappearing yard sign.
That vandalism has gotten more extreme. Over the weekend, Onalaska police recovered a sign for 94th Assembly District candidate Ryan Hipsch, spray painted with a swastika.
But this one in particular got stolen from a location, apparently got vandalized with a Nazi symbol.
Hipsch says several of his signs have been stolen, but this was the first case of vandalism. Political analyst Joe Heim says though acts like these aren't frequent, they're popping up more often.
Those are not positive signs for democracy, positive signs for elections, because they're examples of extremism.
Hipsch's opponent, incumbent Democrat Steve Doyle, condemned the vandalism.
There's no place in politics for defacing other people's yard signs or ripping up their campaign literature or anything at all like that.
Doyle feels this could be a response to political attacks, but asks people to find other ways to express their frustrations.
Don't get upset, vote. That's the reaction that people should have. If they're upset about it, go work for a campaign. Don't do things that are destructive. Try to do things that are positive.
Neither candidate knows who's responsible.
Don't go to this. This stealing signs, vandalizing signs, that's not the Cooley region that I know.
Heim explains that as the gap widens, politicians themselves have a role to play.
Tone down the rhetoric, lower the temperature. And I will tell you, it is responsibility of the leaders of the parties, the elected leaders of the Democrats and the elected leaders of the Republicans, to speak up when things like this occur.
In Onalaska, Emily Haugen, News 8 Now.
And someone also vandalized multiple landmarks on the UW-Madison campus. The graffiti spray painted on the front of the Memorial Union, a sign at Alumni Park, and multiple Bucky Badger statues included messages protesting a conservative commentator, Matt Walsh, who was speaking on campus tonight for his screening of his film, What is a Woman? Campus police are investigating.
All right, take a look outside right now. We actually have the weather computer crashed. Let me see if I can call this up real quick. Okay, there's a live look at CityCam right now. You can see we do have rain still across portions of the Cooley region. Take a look at your SkyCast. As we head into your evening and overnight hours, there's the 10 o'clock hour. We have the rain chance remaining in the forecast. We'll go ahead and start the clock and take a look here at your overnight hours. The rain and thunderstorm chances will dissipate. We'll see temperatures hovering right around 47 by 2 a.m. As we take a look here at the 5-6 o'clock time frame, we'll see temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s again. Winds are going to stay more out of the west at around 5 miles per hour than when you wake up in the morning. Temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s will greet you with partly cloudy skies. All right, let's go ahead and take a look here at the radar. There you go, and you can see that rain and thunderstorm still pushing its way across the Cooley region at this hour. Not as bad as it was earlier. That's the saving grace, if you will, because we had that line of thunderstorms push its way through. Some of that did produce some pea-sized hail. We pull out and take a look here at the bigger picture, and you can see where that cool front is that's pushing its way through. That's what's going to keep us in the 40s and 50s for tomorrow. Now, coming up in the first alert forecast, we're going to talk about how long the 50s will last. Our average high for this time of year is 58 degrees, and there's a couple days that we may not even see 50s. We're talking upper 40s. We'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. Guys, over to you. All right, thanks, Eric.
You bet. Well, we have new information about the family of 6 found dead in a Wisconsin apartment fire. Authorities say the 2 adults and 4 children found dead Friday morning in Heartland died of single gunshot wounds, and the gun to the male victim was self-inflicted. Police recovered several firearms from that home and say there is also evidence of an ignitable liquid in the apartment where it normally would not be located.
The Onalaska teenager charged with attempted homicide and armed burglary is headed to trial. 17-year-old Austin Bailey is accused of breaking into a 15-year-old girl's home and trying to strangle her while she was asleep. According to the criminal complaint, the victim woke up when Bailey tried to stab her. He ran from the scene. When Onalaska police found Bailey, they say he asked officers to shoot him. Bailey is being held on $50,000 cash bond. He returns to court tomorrow.
The man accused of the Waukesha parade attack will not take the stand. Darrell Brooks, who is representing himself, refused to answer when asked whether he intended to testify or call more witnesses, so the judge determined Brooks forfeited his right to testify. Brooks is accused of driving his SUV into a crowd of people during last year's Christmas parade, killing 6 and hurting dozens more. Prosecutors have been told to get ready for closing arguments as soon as tomorrow afternoon.
Still to come tonight at 10, ahead of the curve.
Wisconsin's math and reading scores are above the national average.
Plus, hours of video gaming too much of a good thing for kids? One new health study doesn't think so. Details are next.
Here in Wisconsin, you should be able to walk down the street and not worry about crime. I'm Josh Call. As a former federal prosecutor and your attorney general, I've put murderers, drug traffickers, and sex offenders behind bars and kept them there. And I worked with Democrats and Republicans to change the law so rape kits don't sit around untested. I know there's more to do, but I will not stop until you and your family are safe, no matter what neighborhood you live in.
For your next roofing, window, or bathroom project, don't get caught in a vicious cycle with Bush League contractors. Barrel it up and call your home improvement company today. It's not a stretch to say that your home improvement company is the MVP contractor in Twins territory. Whether your home needs a simple change-up, you're in a pinch for a quick hitter improvement, or you're going for a moonshot remodeling project, your home improvement company is ready to step up to the plate, even if their owner is a bit of a blooper. Hey, I'm just spitballing here.
I'm a veteran. I know what it looks like to love your country, and this isn't it. Derek Van Orden was on the Capitol grounds on January 6th. He broke past the police barricades and was part of a riot that injured over 100 cops, and some of them ended up dying. Now he wants us to believe he's a patriot? Mr. Van Orden, patriots defend their country. They don't try to burn it down.
I'm Brad Paff, and I approve this message.
Tim Michaels wants to scare you with lies. Here's the truth. Independent fact-checkers gave Michaels' parole attacks a pants-on-fire rating, saying they were false and that the governor does not allow any release of criminals. That's a fact. And here's another fact. Tony Evers actually increased police funding, and he's working to invest in high-crime areas, in job training, after-school programs, and mental health. So when you see all these, do this.
When it comes to reading and math scores, Wisconsin students are ahead of their peers. According to the National Assessment of Educational Progress, average math and reading scores have dropped for elementary students and 8th graders. But there is good news for parents in Wisconsin, where scores for elementary school students remain steady. Now, Wisconsin 8th graders did decline in both subjects, but overall scores have stayed at or above the national average.
If you're worried about how much time your kid spends playing video games, this might make you feel a little bit better. A study sponsored by the National Institutes of Health found gaming may help with both cognition and impulse control. Researchers say kids who played video games 3 or more hours a day did better on tasks associated with memory and impulse control than those who didn't play. The gamers also had higher levels of activity in parts of the brain associated with attention and working memory. However, the study didn't find a direct causal relationship between video games and cognitive improvements.
And this is why the story is only airing at 10, so that my kids didn't get to see it.
Fair enough. But I know now.
Yeah. Shh. Uncle Ken, he's going to be their favorite. Well, the flu has officially made its way into western Wisconsin, and it has come early.
That's right. Health officials at Gunderson Health System say there's usually one reported case during this time of year. But with the number of cases that they're seeing now, we can expect a rough and early flu season.
What we're starting to see this year is more, I'd say 15 to 20 cases of influenza, which means that it is out there in the community.
Now, it's not too late to get a flu shot or a COVID-19 vaccine. Contact your primary health provider. You may be able to get both at the same visit.
Well, still to come, swinging with joy.
Kids at Southern Bluffs Elementary are celebrating a playground edition.
And in the world of weather, we have rain being picked up on the radar right now. You can see city cam is falling here in La Crosse. Now, how long will the rain and cooler temperatures last? I'll have the answer in the first alert forecast on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
I've practiced personal injury law for 4 years.
For 20 years.
For 32 years.
All I do every day
is help injured people get the compensation that they deserve.
At Vigoff and Rohde, that's how we get results.
In the Senate, Ron Johnson pushed tax loopholes benefiting himself and his donors.
Did my business benefit? Sure. Did some of my donor businesses? Sure.
But here's what Johnson's doing to us. He voted to raise the retirement age and allow cuts to Social Security. Even supports letting Wisconsin ban nearly all abortions and said, if you don't like it, you can move. Ron Johnson works for himself, never us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Nice welcomes you. Nice has your back. Nice laughs at your jokes. Nice goes out of its way just to make sure. At Western National Insurance, nice is more than, well, nice. It's our whole deal. And when you experience it, it's pretty nice. Western National Insurance. The power of nice.
When I heard from my doctor, it was my worst nightmare. My baby's diagnosis was dismal, a severe abnormality, and my husband and I decided to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Tim Michaels thinks that decision should have been his, not ours. He wants to criminalize abortion. And if he's elected, women will lose the freedom to decide what's best for them. Tim Michaels is just way too radical for Wisconsin.
The great experiences you have in here and even out here all started here. Because the best customer experience always leaves a great impression. GMC, awarded #1 in sales satisfaction by J.D. Power. Sierra models are arriving weekly at your local GMC dealers, available for immediate delivery with 0% financing.
Visit your best choice GMC dealer today.
If someone you love has been injured, it's important to find a law firm that's fair, prompt, and reliable. That law firm is Bygoff & Rohde.
We've been Wisconsin's personal injury law firm for over 50 years.
Fall Home Show going on now at the Bourne Store. Visit today and see what's new and get your $250 discount coupon. Register for prizes and visit with designers. Hope to see you soon.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
Wisconsin Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin is promoting renewable energy projects in La Crosse.
Senator Baldwin went to a home in La Crosse recently fitted with solar panels. The tax credits in the Inflation Reduction Act signed into law this summer cover 30% of the cost to install solar panels. Senator Baldwin says that law will motivate more households to go solar and create growth for local solar businesses.
I think we're seeing a lot of hopefulness that we really can make this bold transition and do so with a significant reduction in our carbon emissions in the United States.
The senator also went over to Western Technical College to check out their new electric vehicle charging station.
Now, of course, you could see the jackets in that video. Dula brought out the umbrella for her stand-up earlier today. Rain was in the forecast, Eric.
Hey, that's right, and I tell you what, we needed it. We're sitting at just over an inch of rain, below normal for the month, 1.85 to be exact. Here's the thing, it says that we had 807 inches of rain at the airport. If you take a look here at the sensor downtown here at the TV station, we picked up 91/100ths of an inch. So location was definitely everything. Like some places picked up a few drops, some places picked up almost an inch. So several miles meant a big difference in that aspect. The wind is starting to pick up a little bit. It's now shifting. You can see on the radar scan right now, hey, we're still seeing the rain across the Cooley region. You see these areas shaded in yellow just to the west of Black River Falls, south of La Crosse. That's where the heavy rain is being picked up. No lightning is being picked up at this hour. That's some good news there. Here's the setup. So we had this front push its way through. You can kind of see how the winds are starting to shift now in the Dakotas across portions of Minnesota. That wind shift is going to be our weather maker as we go into your overnight hours, and that's what's going to keep us cool for tomorrow. Take a look here at your Skycast over the next several hours. By the 2 o'clock time frame, we'll see temperatures right around 47 degrees. We'll go to about 42, 43 degrees by the 6 o'clock hour. When you wake up in the morning, temperatures in the upper 30s, low 40s will greet you. By 8 o'clock, we'll see that temperature again in the upper 30s to low 40s. So overnight lows, like I said, 30s and 40s. 42 in Viroqua, 43 La Crosse, 39 Sparta, 38 Black River Falls, 38 in Eau Claire, 39 will be the overnight low in Winona. So the rain chances, hey, they're out of here as we go into the next several hours. We're going to be left with partly cloudy skies for your Tuesday. That trend will continue for Wednesday. But with that wind shift, like I said, temperatures will be in the upper 40s to low 50s. Average high for this time of year is 58 degrees. So Mother Nature's last 70-degree hurrah, I think that was this past weekend, because we're going to stay in the 50s for the next several days. And highs tomorrow, again, low to mid 50s, upper 40s towards Viroqua. Prairie du Chien, you'll get a 50. Decorah, you'll get a 50. Some of the outlying areas over towards Prairie du Chien and Decorah, we'll see temperatures in the mid to upper 40s. So details of the first alert forecast for tonight. Showers will continue. We're going to see a light wind. Overnight lows, upper 30s, low 40s. Winds will be out of the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Your day planner for tomorrow. We'll go to 46 degrees by the 10 o'clock hour. Upper 40s, low 50s will greet you by the noon hour. The clouds will pick up as we go into the afternoon, early evening hours. No rain chances to talk about, but look at the wind. Notice at 8 o'clock we see more of a westerly approach. Then as we go throughout the day, it takes more of a northerly approach because that front at that time will be pushing through the area the next 8 days. If you're a big fan of the 70s, well, you can say so long to those because 50s are in the forecast for the next 8 days. I want to break out one particular day on the 8th day, and that's right there, Monday, Halloween, partly cloudy skies. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 50s. So right now, trick-or-treating, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be okay.
All right.
Yeah, just so we don't have to have giant coats over costumes.
I know, it just ruins
Never
it.
fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks,
All right.
Eric.
You bet.
Coming up next in sports, the T-Wolves home tonight looking for their second straight win.
And Bangor will be looking for a win on Friday, but one of the Cardinals' star athletes already winning some hardware tonight. Rob has that story next.
Thank you for watching News 8 Lacrosse. Here are tonight's winning Powerball numbers. News 8 Sports is brought to you by Mayo Clinic Health System. Whether you need routine care or treatment for a complex condition, Mayo Clinic Health System has convenient and safe options for the care you and your family need.
Democrats defunded and dispirited our police, creating the worst crime wave in decades. Biden spent us into 40-year high inflation, drove gas prices to record levels, and opened our borders, causing a flood of illegal immigrants and deadly drugs. Mandela Barnes supports all the policies causing you and your family so much pain. He will rubber stamp their liberal agenda. Mandela Barnes sides with radical leftists, not with you.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
A governor's job is to make your life better. But would anything on Tim Michaels' agenda actually help you? His rhetoric is violent.
People should just be ready to get out in the streets with pitchforks and torches.
At his company, women say they were pressured to have sex with their bosses. And he said he'd consider abolishing the Department of Public Instruction. It's a radical's dream, but it wouldn't do a single thing for you. Tony Evers' plan is pretty simple. Create good-paying jobs and bring costs down. That's the right plan for Wisconsin.
It's Ford SUV season. Time to gear up for changing conditions on and off-road. Get great deals on our most capable lineup of Ford SUVs, including Ford Explorer and Bronco Sport. Both rated 2022 IIHS top safety picks, and both designed to give you greater confidence. Hurry, Ford SUV season will end soon. Now, for a limited time, get $500 retail order bonus cash on a 2022 Ford Explorer and Bronco Sport, only at your Northland Ford dealers.
When Kenosha burned, Tony Evers fanned the flames.
He blamed police. When we needed help, he refused. For days.
I know.
Because we were there.
Evers puts politics over our lives.
Over your lives.
That's why we support Tim Michaels.
As a veteran, Tim Michaels won't abandon us.
Tim Michaels will have our back.
And stand strong against violent crime.
We're with Tim.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Mayo Health System. Here's News 8 Now's Rob Schiff.
Level 2 of the Wisconsin High School football playoffs is just 4 days away. The Bangor Cardinals are still alive. They had a phenomenal regular season, thanks in large part to a monster year from one of their leaders. And now the senior is being recognized for it. Tanner Jones did it all for the Cardinals this season, and now he can add some more hardware to the mantle. Jones being named the Scenic Bluffs Conference Player of the Year. And what a year it's been. Jones has been a highlight reel every Friday night. Check out these numbers: over 1,800 yards, 25 touchdowns, but Jones doing it on both sides of the ball. 56 tackles, 3 interceptions, leading Bangor to an 8-1 regular season record. And the Cardinals are still alive in Division 7. Their Level 2 matchup is this Friday night. Bangor heads to Potosi-Cassville to take on the Chieftains. We'll see if Jones can help lead the Cardinals into Level 3. It was a promising start to the season for Green Bay, a big win over Tampa Bay in Week 3, a 3-1 record going into Week 5, but it's been all downhill since then. The Packers find themselves under 500. They're 3-4 on the year, 3 straight losses now for the Green and Gold, and not too much good to take away from Sunday's game in D.C. Another Sunday, another incomplete performance from the Packers. It started well, the defense showing up in the first half. How about Devondre Campbell coming up with the pick six, taking it 63 yards to the house. Green Bay up 11 early in the second, but the offense a no-show in the second half, and the defense following suit. Terry McLaurin getting whatever he wanted down the stretch. A late Aaron Jones touchdown cut the deficit to just two. Too little too late, though, as the Packers dropped their third straight game. But after this one, number 12 says, hold on a second, this slump could be a positive thing for the team moving forward.
I'm not worried about this squad. In fact, this might be the best thing for us this week. You know, nobody's going to give us a chance. Going to Buffalo and Sunday Night Football, the chance to get exposed, shoot, might be the best thing for us.
Well, on paper, it's not looking too promising for Green Bay. For the first time in Rodgers' career, the Packers are heading into this game as double-digit underdogs. The Bills are favored by 10.5 going into Sunday night's matchup. Shifting gears now to the high school sports scene, the volleyball playoffs continue on Thursday night. Big matchup in Westby. The 32-1 Norsemen will be hosting Aquinas. The winner of that match punches their ticket to the sectional final. As for West Salem, the Panthers also in action on Thursday night. They'll be hosting Platteville. West Salem took care of the Hillmen back in September in straight sets. Should be an exciting night full of playoff action come Thursday. The World Series is officially set. It'll be the Phillies and the Astros. Philly advancing in dramatic fashion yesterday. Bryce Harper with an epic two-run blast in the bottom of the 8th to put Philly on top in Game 5. They advance to take on a Houston squad that hasn't lost yet in the postseason. The Astros are 7-0. They completed a 4-game sweep of the Yankees last night. Game 1 is scheduled for Friday. Wolves at home looking to improve to 3-1, taking on the Spurs. Pick it up in the first. Minnesota down 8, but the big man connection is solid. Cat to Rudy Gobert for the deuce. That cuts it to 6. But the Spurs rookie Jeremy Sohan had himself a night off the steal. San Antonio on the run, the alley-oop to Sohan. He jams it home. Spurs up 20 at this point. Later in the second, Wolves clawing back. Anthony Edwards leading the charge. Counted and the foul. That's Edwards' 3,000th career point. It cuts it back to 8, but the Spurs outscore Minnesota 36-14 in the third quarter. Jakob Poeltl hits the floater in the paint. Wolves made it a game in the fourth, but they fall to 2-2 on the year. They dropped this one 115-106. That'll do it for sports. We'll be right back.
Sick of running out of hot water? The professionals at Maxwell White are here to handle all of your water heater needs. Our licensed technicians can install, repair, or replace any type of water heater with same-day or next-day service. Call Maxwell White. Plumbing done right.
Over 800 convicted criminals released. 270 murderers and attempted murderers released. 44 child rapists released. Tony Evers' parole commission has released hundreds of violent criminals early, including some of the worst killers in Wisconsin history. Evers' liberal policies are making our communities less safe. Tony Evers put criminals first and our family's safety last.
Coming from the Midwest, we know that winter can chill to the bones. Menards has all the heating options to combat those cold months. Need heat wherever you are? Check out our endless options of space heaters. Want something for a cozy living space? Pick up one of our many fireplaces. Job sites? Home? We have your back. Menards has heating options for whatever situation you need it for, and get 11% off it all.
Save big money at Menards.
When I heard from my doctor, it was my worst nightmare. My baby's diagnosis was dismal, a severe abnormality, and my husband and I decided to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Tim Michaels thinks that decision should have been his, not ours. He wants to criminalize abortion. And if he's elected, women will lose the freedom to decide what's best for them. Tim Michaels is just way too radical for Wisconsin.
His job was to serve and protect. Instead, reports say Dave Estenson assaulted and preyed on girls for years. One report of sexually assaulting a teenager. Multiple reports of Estenson trying to coerce girls into sexual favors to avoid citations. And Estenson wants to ban all abortions, forcing victims of rape and incest to carry their predator's child. Sexual predators belong behind bars, not in the state Senate.
We at Maxwell White pride ourselves on delivering honest, dependable plumbing services, whether it's a repair, installation, or any number of other needs. With our full-stocked warehouse and trucks, our licensed technicians are ready to serve you. So don't just choose anyone, choose Maxwell White.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
The latest edition coming to La Crosse's Southern Bluffs Elementary has students screaming with delight.
A brand new swing set will be installed at the school's playground for the first time in its history. Students and teachers both celebrated the big news, and PTO members say fundraising was a breeze because of all the community support.
With, all of the parents and families and community support, we have actually exceeded the goal. So we're at almost 32,000 now, so we're so thrilled that we'll be getting the swings hopefully in the summer.
The swings are a game changer, man. There will be 8 of them in total, and they will be fully accessible for people of all abilities.
That is awesome. Underdogs, spiders, all of it coming to Southern Bluffs coming this fall.
Absolutely.
That's
or if you
pretty
just
cool.
want to pretend you're piloting an X-Wing, if you're a big Star Wars fan, that'll work for you too.
Is that a thing?
Yours truly did that quite a bit.
All right. You can do that too. We'll be right back to wrap things up.
Connect with us on Twitter at News 8 News. Or you can always find us at news8000.com.
Looking at mattresses?
I'm just looking.
Jump on it, roll on it.
No.
Just pretend I'm not here. You have any questions?
Buying a mattress can be uncomfortable.
She seemed nice.
That's why Slumberland has modernized the process. Slumberland. Mattress shopping reinvented.
Some things make you wonder, what the PAF? Like career politician Brad Pfaff voting to raise our taxes after promising not to. Then praising another $1 billion in tax hikes on Wisconsin families. Seriously, what the PAF? Or when he supported trillions of dollars in big government spending, creating record inflation. What the PAF? Makes you wonder how anyone could trust career politician Brad Pfaff. NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
911, what's your emergency?
I smell something delicious and I don't know what it is.
Ma'am, we've traced the smell and it's coming from inside your oven.
Ah, amazing. Papa Murphy's.
Joe Biden took $4 trillion from us taxpayers and he spent it. $4 trillion. And what do we get? We got higher gas prices, higher groceries, just about everything. Brad Pfaff, well, he backed Joe Biden 100% of the time. That's what you get when you spend your career in politics. Well, it ain't me. Let's try something different. Let's cut spending, balance the budget, and get America back on track. I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
At Batteries Plus, we do more than replace batteries and fix phones and tablets. We help our neighbors power their lives. Need a phone fixed? We got it. Get powered in-store, curbside, and at batteriesplus.com.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Ron Johnson caught lying. Independent fact checks call his attacks on Mandela Barnes false and misleading. But it's Johnson's views that are alarming. Johnson supported a ban on abortions. He co-sponsored a bill that makes no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And Johnson said if women don't like it, they can move. The truth is, it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
Inflation's eating up all our savings.
Our home value is plummeting. Yet Biden and Mandela Barnes support a massive tax increase on middle-class families. Are you kidding?
Now Barnes supports hiring an army of IRS agents to audit working families. Who needs that headache?
How about Barnes starts worrying about paying his own taxes?
Wisconsin Truth PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Right now at Slumberland Furniture, you'll get 30% off all living room furniture. Yup, sofas, sectionals, tables, recliners, and more. All 30% off. Plus 30% off select mattresses and 20% off everything else. On now at Slumberland Furniture.
Here's I got your forecast for tomorrow, folks. We're only going to the upper 40s, low 50s. The clouds will increase throughout the afternoon and early evening hours, and the 50s continue for the next 8 days. Tuesday, November 1st. Look at that, 58 degrees, which is well above normal for November standards.
It is.
It's average for now, but come November, it's average about 54, 55.
Okay, but still not bad for trick or treat.
Not bad at all, no.
Yeah, I think that you can afford to put your jacket underneath your costume. A light
I think the pirate suit can come out finally.
That's the go-to costume over there.
Right.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us.
We appreciate your time. We'll see you tomorrow.